Welcome to the meeting of Cabinet. Special welcome to Stephen Vickers, who's at his first Cabinet meeting, the first of many, and I'm sure you'll enjoy our meetings. Good luck in everything as you start the new role. It's great to have you here. Attendance wise, looking round, all 8 Cabinet members are in attendance, which makes item 2 on the agenda very easy because it's apologies. So there's no apologies from Cabinet members. Any apologies from anyone else I need to note? No.
I don't believe so.
Okay, great. Thank you, Rachel. So moving on to declarations of interest. Derek, anything we need to note here?
Thank you, Lead. I'm not aware of any interest that need to be declared. Thank you.
Right. Anyone know anything contrary to that? I wouldn't have thought so with the agenda item today that there'd be any particular interests, but if there is, speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm not going to marry anyone, don't worry. It's my anniversary coming up soon, so I better remember the card. Otherwise, I might need to marry someone in the future. Right, minutes from the meeting of the 25th of May, I believe. Any matters arising from those minutes?
Okay, so I'll just put an interesting arrow on the map.
No matters arising. We all happy to agree those are a true and accurate record of the previous meeting? Any objections? If not, then I'll move on to actions. Any action points to note? I don't think there are any outstanding ones. Anything to note there? No. Okay, that all being good, then we can move to agenda item 6, which is the Information Governance Policies Report. Am I handing over to Dave Young in the first instance here?
Cheers, Anthony. Cabinet will be aware from previous meetings that in supporting information governance and management, a number of policies have been developed and progressed through the information management framework. The framework is in place for the Council to identify appropriate requirements and safeguards in managing our corporate information. This work continues through the Information Asset Owners Group and, of course, through Linden as our CIRO. The 2 policies presented today, if approved, will be added to the framework and rolled out across the workforce, forming part of the information management process. Information Secure Destruction Policy, reference IGO 22, which is the first one, applies to all information regardless of format that supports the Council's operation and to which the retention policy applies. All information, of course, is subject to specific retention periods dependent on its content. This policy ensures all service areas securely and appropriately destroy information at the end of its life, thus avoiding any potential for inappropriate disclosure and/or access. The second policy is the Information Sharing Policy, IGO 17, and the Council holds, collects and processes vast amounts of information and has a legal, regulatory and contractual obligation to share and manage information securely. It's a function of the Council's daily business that we routinely share information. This policy outlines what information can be shared and the processes that enable it to be done appropriately and safely. What information can be shared could be exemplified by information sharing protocols, data disclosure agreements and controller processor agreements. The Council has also signed the Wales Accord on the Sharing of Personal Information, or WASPI for short, and this policy strengthens the Council's approach to information management across the piece. I would certainly urge the rest of the Cabinet to unanimously support these policies because, as dry and mundane as they might be, they are incredibly important to the security of the information that we hold and disseminate. With that, I'll hand you over to Linden, our CIRO officer, who will fill in some of the gaps and perhaps invite you to ask questions as you feel necessary. Cheers. Over to you, Linden.
Thank you very much, Councillor Yole. I think you've summed up everything excellent in terms of the content detail. As you mentioned, work goes across the Council in terms of the Asset Owners Group to get us into a more secure position in terms of our information management framework, and we're also responding to a number of internal audits as part of that. So I have nothing further to add other than any questions Cabinet may have. Thank you.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Lyndon. And yeah, as David said, these are the things that are very dry until things go wrong, in which case they become very topical and exciting. So I guess it's best to keep them in the dry box, isn't it? So so thank you for your work on those, and to all the officers who've put in work to developing these policies. Any questions, members? Right, if we're all content then, are we okay to move the recommendations in the reports? Let's move by Richard. Anyone second those? David second those? David Joel second those? If I can take a usual roll call for the vote then, please. Richard?
Approve.
Thanks, Joe.
Approve.
David Joel?
Approve.
Thanks, Fiona.
Approve.
Thanks, Kelly.
Approve.
Thanks, Mandy.
Approve.
And David Daniels.
Agreed.
And myself, I've not forgotten anyone. Approve. So that's carried. Thank you, members, and thank you, officers, for that report. That's the final. Oh, sorry, I've got to exclusion of press and public for the exempt minutes from the 25th of May before anyone has a heart attack. So are we okay to agree the exclusion of press and public from the final agenda item? Is that agreed? Is the recording okay to be stopped then?